Good morning, Miss Catherine.
Good morning, Miss Betsy.
We are back. We're doing some videos for our friends that are doing learning from home, and it's actually kind of fun. And I'm really excited about our video that we're going to do today. Today, Miss Catherine, we're doing a science experiment.
I love science.
I know, it's so fun. And this month, our unit that we're studying is about being healthy.
That's very important.
Yes, and so that's what our experiment is going to be based on. And what we're going to be focusing on today is how not all snacks are healthy snacks, and how some snacks that we like to eat may not be the best for our bodies. And that's because they contain this thing called fat. And fat is not always healthy. Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. And so today, to show our friends how much fat happens to be in potato chips and what might be a good potato chip choice to eat if you like potato chips, because I like potato chips.
I do too. But I want to be healthy too.
Yeah, so we can choose because there's so many choices out there in the grocery store today. And so we are going to use, if you will hold up, Miss Catherine, we're going to show our friends what we're going to be using for our experiment. We're going to use some regular potato chips. That's what this is, regular potato chips, like your good old-fashioned, just regular rippled potato chip. We're also going to use what we call baked potato chips. Baked potato chips are going to be part of our experiment. And we have two other chips we're going to be comparing. These are called kettle-cooked potato chips, kettle-cooked potato chips, okay? And then our last chip we're going to be using in our experiment are called Pringles, or potato chips in a tube. All right, Miss Catherine, so we are going to get started with our experiment, and we're going to figure out which of these four types of potato chips has the most fat. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right.
Miss Betsy,
Yes, Miss Catherine.
did you know that potato chips can leave grease? We talked about fat. Do you know they can leave grease on things that we touch?
Yeah, I do, because one time I was eating potato chips and then I touched my shirt and there was this weird spot that stayed there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, on our science experiment today, there are going to be two things that we need to figure out.
Okay.
We need to figure out which one leaves the most grease on the paper. So we have it here.
So we've got our paper here.
And it's labeled for each potato chip.
And that's so we remember which potato chip we used on which piece of paper, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to see which one will leave the least amount.
Okay, that sounds like fun. How are we going to do that, Miss Catherine? What do we need in order to do that?
Okay, for our experiment today, we need a rolling pin.
Okay.
And if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use anything that's round and heavy, like a soda can or a can of peas
Or can of soup or something like
yeah,
that, maybe.
so, but
Okay.
a rolling pin, something you can that you can crush. We need some wax paper.
Okay. Wax paper.
We need 4 sheets of these.
Okay. So we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're ready with that.
All right, and then we need our timer.
Okay. This is our timer here.
And you guys should recognize this. We use this in class.
And a lot of people have timers on their watching phones and things like that too, so they could use those if they needed to, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anything that you can do timer. And then we need our sheet where we keep our data.
Okay.
That means, you know, what we find each one.
Each time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So are you ready to start, Miss Betsy?
I'm so ready. I'm excited, Miss Catherine. Let's do this. What is the first potato chip we're going to be testing?
Okay, let's find the original ones.
Okay, so let's see. Potato chip, kettle cooked, baked potato chip. Okay, here's our paper that says regular potato chip.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, Miss Betsy, is we're going to put some potato chips on our paper.
Okay.
Put a few up there. And we're going to put the wax paper over top of
Okay,
it.
so we just cover it like that,
Just
maybe?
cover it. And then you're going to take this and you're just going to roll it over and crunch.
Ooh, I get to mash them all
Yes,
up.
this is going to
what
be so
fun.
much fun. Listen,
All right, now do I have to press really hard?
not too hard. Ooh.
Wait a minute, are we supposed to time how long I do this?
No, you just do it.
Okay, so just crush it until they're good and smushed.
Good and smushed. That looks like that's
Okay, is
probably
that
good.
probably good, you think?
Yeah, I think
now
so.
what do we have to
Look,
do?
they're really good and smushed. Okay, now we're going to leave this for 1 minute. So we're going to set our timer for 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay, and when that 1 minute is up, then we'll see if it left any grease.
Okay.
Miss Betsy, do you think it left any grease on there?
I think so, because I think I see some already.
Yeah, I think they're pretty greasy because when I took them out of the bag, it left grease on my hand.
Slippery?
Yeah, they were kind of greasy, so I think so.
So we'll just wait till our timer goes off. Oh, Miss Catherine, our timer's beeping.
Yes, it is. So let's take it off and see. We need our trash can.
Okay.
So we'll dump her.
So I'm just dumping the wax paper and the chips in the trash now, right?
Yes, just
All
dump it
right,
all
here
off.
we go. Shaking it off, trying to get it off.
Oh my gracious.
Whoa.
Look at all of
It
that.
almost looks like a fish, Miss Catherine.
It sure does. Look.
Looks like a goldfish cracker I would eat.
That looks neat.
What's our next chip, Miss
Our
Catherine?
next chip is baked.
All right, I got the baked chip right here, baked potato chips.
Okay, so we're going to put some of these up
And
here.
we just do the same thing over again, right?
That's right.
Wax
Put your
paper. Miss Catherine, would you like to smush them this time?
Oh, I
It
think
was
that
so
would be
fun. Here,
fun.
let me scoot over and you
Thank
smush
you, Miss
them.
Betsy. I like that we get to take turns.
Oh, ooh.
This is fun, Miss Betsy.
Miss Catherine, did you hear the beep?
I did hear it, Miss Betsy. I mean, it's time
Oh
for the trash
boy.
can.
Let's throw it all away and see. Ooh.
Ooh, there's a little bit.
I see a little spots, but not as much as the regular one.
No.
All right, we'll put that paper up here. What's our next chip, Miss
The
Catherine?
next one are our kettle chips.
All right, kettle chips, right? Oh,
hear
it's
it, Miss
time
Betsy.
again. It's time again. Okay, where's the trash can? Let's throw this away.
It's right here.
Here we go. Boom.
Ooh.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay, it looks like we have one more chip left to try, or to smush. And guess what, Miss Catherine? It's your turn.
Oh, goody.
All right, so this time our last chip is the potato chip in a tube.
I hear it.
Yay! All right, the last
Trash can
trash.
time.
Boom, in there. All
Ooh.
right. Ooh. Wow. So now we've done all of our chips. Let's get our papers. Because I think now we have to collect our information, right, Miss Catherine?
We do. We have to collect our data.
All right. Each chip looks different.
Yes, it does.
So let's see. Our paper here for our data is asking us how much grease was left on the paper. So it looks like we have to look at each paper that we did, and then we have to decide if there was a lot of grease left, a medium amount, very little, or none at all. You ready?
I'm ready. Miss
Okay.
Betsy.
So let's first look at the regular potato chip paper. So this is the regular potato chip paper. I'm going to show our friends at home. So Miss Catherine, looking at that paper, how much grease would you say was left on the paper?
Miss Betsy, I think it's a lot because it even makes a fish shape.
I agree. I definitely think that is a lot of grease on that paper. So I am going to circle a lot.
Okay.
The next chip is the baked potato chip. looking at that paper, I would have to say there's very little grease on there.
I think so. Just a few spots, not very
Okay.
much. So very little. I think
Very
you're right, Miss
little,
Betsy.
very little. All right, the next chip is the kettle cooked potato chip.
Okay.
Let's see. There's really not a whole lot on that one either.
I say maybe a medium amount.
Medium amount?
Yeah, because look, see, it's more than this,
More than the baked chip,
but less than
but
that.
less than the regular. Okay, a medium amount. I agree with that. And our last chip was the potato chip in a tube.
That's probably a medium amount too. What do you think?
I think I agree because it's still not as much as the regular potato chip, and it's still more than the baked potato chip. Yeah,
I
potato
think
chip
you're
in a
right.
tube, medium amount.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, now we have to answer our questions.
Okay.
Okay. Which chip will leave the most grease on the paper? A regular potato chip?
Baked
A
potato?
baked potato chip? A kettle cooked potato chip? Or a potato chip in a can?
Which left the most grease? Well, if we look at our data information here, it was the regular potato chip that had the most amount of grease. So it would be the regular potato chip left the most grease on paper.
I agree.
Yeah. Which potato chip or chips left the least amount of grease on the paper, Miss Catherine?
Okay, looking at our data, I think that it was the baked potato chips because it had very little.
That's right, the baked potato chip. And if we look at our papers, it's very obvious that out of all 4 chips, the baked potato chip had the least amount of grease. So, Miss Catherine, what do you think this tells us?
I think this tells us if we're going to have potato chips, then we should eat the baked potato chips.
I think that you're right, that this tells us that out of these 4 choices, that the best choice to help our body stay healthy would be to choose the baked potato chip because we would not be putting as much grease into our bodies. So we can eat potato chips, we just have to make good choices. Now, if I couldn't find a baked potato chip, the next best choice would probably be the kettle cooked potato chip because it had some grease or a medium amount of grease, but still not as much as the regular chips. Looks like we should stay away from those regular chips as much as we maybe can.
I don't want to put all that grease in my body.
No way, because I can be healthy and I want to do the best I can be to be healthy.
Absolutely.